Hi guys, welcome back to Home Life with Rebecca. Let's have a little sit down chat on this Thursday morning. So I feel like it's been a pretty long 2 weeks and I am exhausted. So first things first, I'm going to touch base on the low carb diet that I have been trying to do, trying being the key word. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but there's a few things that are kind of throwing me a curveball. The first one being I take my Adderall very early in the morning because I get up at 5 every morning, and even on the weekends, on Saturdays is typically my day to sleep in. If Cooper, our dog, he's still a puppy, if he allows me to, most Saturdays he's awake by 6:30, and then on Sundays I'm up at 6 because I have to get ready for church and then get the family ready for church and get breakfast and figure out what we're having for dinner and all that good stuff. So if I don't take my Adderall in the morning, it makes me nauseous because I have a higher dose. It just kind of makes me feel queasy. Plus, I'm taking medicine at night before I go to bed now, and I think just the combination is making me feel. So the doctor had recommended that I do the intermittent fasting and break my fast at noon, stop eating at 7 p.m., eat again at noon. And so I knew that I would kind of have to play with those hours since I wake up so early and still go to bed late, which I know is not healthy either. But so I was trying to, so I get up around 5, I drink some water, I get dressed, put on a little bit of makeup, sometimes comb my hair, and then I usually around that time, after I get my oldest daughter up and make her something to eat, and I've starting to wake up the littler ones like Jillian and Kennedy, around 6:30 I have to take my Adderall because then my anxiety starts to go and I feel like I'm being pulled in 10 different directions, which I am because I've got 6 kids to get out of the house, and then you've got 2 dogs on top of that, and cats meowing because they're hungry, and trying to get kids to do their chores, and making sure everybody eats something or grabs something to go on the way, and all that jazz that comes with being a mom. I feel when I wait to take my Adderall, I'm not queasy, but I'm also it's not pretty. And I just have a really hard time maintaining my focus, and it shows, and then it starts going off. My actions make the kids' actions not good because they all have ADHD as well. So if I'm starting my morning agitated and irritable and yelling, then it makes them agitated, irritable, and yelling, and then it's just not a good combination. So I need to have that Adderall as soon as I get ready and it's time to start getting all the kids up. I know that I do much better in my mornings when I take it. But when I take it on an empty stomach, again, it makes me feel nauseous. I used to take it with a fig bar. Even if I just had half of the fig bar, I would take it, then it would kind of absorb everything, and I would feel okay. So since I'm not supposed to be eating hardly any carbs, I tried to break my fast at 7:30 because I just felt like I was going to throw up, and try to eat some eggs. And it's just really hard to eat greasier foods like sausages and bacon and eggs, all the low carb stuff, when you feel like you're gonna throw up. So I don't know. And so I did buy keto bread from Costco, and you got 2 loaves for $8, which I thought was a pretty good deal because at Winco, it's the Franz brand, the keto version. 1 loaf was almost $6, so thought I was getting a good deal. So the day before yesterday, I decided, well, I'll toast 1 piece of that because it's low carb and eat that with the Adderall and see if it helps. It did not. In fact, I'm taking it back to Costco to get my money back because I know I won't eat it, because it's disgusting. And I know myself, I won't even give my brain a chance or my taste buds a chance to get used to it. It's that gross. At least for me, I didn't like it. Even with some butter on it, I was gagging. So I'm like, I don't really know how to solve that issue. And then so today, again, I was just feeling like I was like dry heaving because I just felt sick, but I'm like, I have to take that medicine. I'm just going to have a really bad morning. So I broke down, and one of the kids left half a bagel in the toaster, and I ended up eating it, and I felt fine. So I don't know. I haven't eaten anything since then. That was at like 7 o'clock this morning. So I mean, I broke my fast really early, but I'm just not really sure what to do. And then lunchtime has been really not a challenge, except for the fact that the Adderall is kicked all the way in, so it makes me not hungry. And then I'm standing in front of, hold on guys, I have something in my eye. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I just opened the fridge, closed the fridge, opened the cupboard, closed the cupboard, and I'm like, I don't know what to eat. And I already did that before trying to go low carb, and now it's even worse. I feel a little bit of those eating disorder triggers kicking in because I started to feel afraid of anything that had carbs in it. Like, I was getting real for like that first week. I was like, oh, I can't have an apple, I can't have a tomato, I can't have anything. And my husband was like, I don't like this because it's like bringing back old patterns. And it wasn't like I was purposely like wanting to starve myself or not eat, but I do still have that in my brain where when I start having to limit food groups, I just start getting paranoid. I don't know if that will ever go away. I know it's been a whole lot better since I've been on Adderall, but I've kind of just since being on it, just kind of eaten basically whatever I wanted without the guilt. And that doesn't mean like I overindulged or anything, because for years and years and years I couldn't even eat like the tiniest scoop of ice cream without so much guilt, or a piece of pizza without guilt or without throwing it up. So I mean, it's been big improvements, but you know, old habits probably hard to break. So like my thought process started to be like, oh, I can't eat that, I can't eat that, I don't know what to eat, so I'm just not gonna eat. Which, you know, isn't healthy. And I did try to eat like eggs with my husband was even kind. He hooked up like a whole pound of bacon and cut it up for me, put it in baggies, and then made some chicken, and you know, he prepped all that stuff for me. And I just have a really hard time just eating meat. Like, I don't know, I've always been that way. I'm not like a huge meat eater. I don't know really what I am. I mean, now that it's getting cold, like my body is really wanting the steel cut oats for breakfast. Like, that's really what I was craving this morning to have with some like blueberries or something, but I don't know if I can do this. Plus, we're just, money is not good right now. Like, things are just really tight, and so we have to be really careful with our grocery budget. I'm talking like, I tried to figure it out, like $500 a month is too much. I don't even know if we could do $300 a month. I mean, it's just been awful. And with teenagers in the house, and they snack a lot, and some of them are working, and so they're in and out of the house at different times. It just makes it really difficult to keep food in the house or to plan dinners. I've been really struggling with meal planning. And so like to go out, and because I bought some like cauliflower rice that I haven't even opened, and I'm going to take that back too, and I'm going to get back, I think it was like $12, because I really am struggling with the fact that I have to cook myself separate meals, and I don't have the energy to do that, and I'm probably not going to like it. Cauliflower is not my favorite thing in the world. So I'm not really sure. I know that it's low carb is really supposed to help with like joint pain and stuff, and I should probably do it, but like the money thing is, it makes it difficult, and it makes it difficult too when you already don't care for meat that much. So like being vegan for me, giving up the meat was easy. Giving up the cheese was, and the dairy was harder for me. I don't know, because I've heard dairy can cause a lot of joint pain as well. It's like, who knows what to eat? There are so many like diets out there and research on everything, and I almost feel like you can't eat nothing. You might as well just eat air and ice cubes. But even ice cubes is probably, you have probably too much like iron or something in your water. I don't freaking know. I do know that I didn't give up my coffee creamer. I'm failing, guys. I even told my doctor, I was like, if you tell me to do it, I will do it. It's not been going good. I mean, I've been following it somewhat. Last night I broke because the Adderall had worn off and dinner was a little bit later, and I had praise team practice. I made enchiladas for the family, and I had set aside some meat with some enchilada sauce and cheese on it, and I was gonna mix it in like a green salad. But then I went and looked at the carbs on the enchilada sauce, and I'm like, like I can't, like seriously, like there's like nothing without like carbs in it. And I was like, you know what? I've been on my feet all day. I felt dizzy and I was hungry, so I had one enchilada. I don't know. I didn't have anything else after that, so I didn't eat after 7, but I broke my fast with the carbs this morning. Now the progesterone, it's like a hormone replacement. That's what she put me on. Now I'm gonna have to leave her an email because I'm confused. I do remember her telling me that usually when women are postmenopausal, like myself, the doctors will prescribe like estrogen and stuff, and typically not progesterone, or they will prescribe it to women that haven't had a hysterectomy, because it kind of makes your body kind of like have like a period, like it's pretending to shed your uterus lining, but you have your uterus still. So it like helps with hormones, but they typically don't give it to women that have had hysterectomies. So I don't have my uterus, so I don't know if it does something for your ovaries, but she did tell me that. She's like, typically they won't prescribe this to you, but it's supposed to help with like the cortisol levels in your body, which mine are probably high from the Adderall, which can make you retain like tummy fat and stuff. And that is true, because that is like the area that I struggle the most with on my body, as well as my sister, as well as my mom, as well as my grandmother, as well as my aunt. So it is genetic too. Like they all have struggled with it. And on my dad's side as well, with the women, I've noticed. I just remember my dad's mom having a pretty big belly. And like nobody in my family is like super like morbidly obese or anything, but like my mom, like she'll lose weight, but it's, even if she does like a ton of sit-ups and stuff, she has issues with her middle area. And mine, I feel like, is even worse after having 6 C-sections and being cut open, and then the hysterectomy. Like I don't have a lot of like muscle tone there. And so I think the medicine was supposed to help with that. I'm not really sure how it works when you don't have the uterus, but it makes me sick. No, I don't know if it makes me sick. I don't know if it's that, because I take that one at night before bed, and it does help me sleep. So I don't know if that one's making me sick with the Adderall in the morning, but I didn't take it last night because I wanted to try something, because the last week has been so difficult for me to wake up. Like, it's awful. Like I feel like I'm in like slow motion zombie mode. All I want to do and all I can think about is laying back down. I have been struggling to go on my walks. I was struggling to do any kind of housework. Getting dinner was a struggle. Everything felt a struggle all day long until it was time to go to bed. Like I couldn't wait to just go to bed. I didn't take it yesterday or last night, and this morning I got up and I was fine, because usually even if I don't get a lot of sleep, and this goes back to like my baby when I had infants, even if I had 2-3 hours of sleep and I fell asleep and had to wake up, once I'm awake, I'm okay. Like I can go for a few hours till, then you crash, and that's a different story. But usually when I'm awake, get my coffee, and I can go throughout my day. And I'm not just thinking about I need to close my eyes. But that medicine made me feel like I needed to close my eyes all day long. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything for like a week. It's been like a week and a half. It like messed with all that stuff, and I just felt lazy and lethargic and just out of it. So the stuff they gave me for my hair, I don't think I'm having any issues with that. I take that one in the middle of the day with my second dose of Adderall, and so far I haven't felt really anything with that. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to talk to my doctor about the hormone one, because I don't think I can take that if it's going to make me that tired. Like I don't have time in my life to be that tired. It felt like when I was on like antidepressants. That's how every single antidepressant that I've ever been on has made me feel, where I just can't wake up. And I don't like that feeling, and I don't have time for that feeling. So I'm going to email her today and see what she says, and like, is it okay to have half a fig bar with my Adderall and then, fast until noon and then break that fast with gross meat and whatever, like, and then eat a very low carb dinner and then don't eat after 7, or break my fast after 10, whatever. I'm going to email her, see what she says, tell her my struggles. I think they are valid. It's hard to be tired all day, and it's hard to feel nauseous, like you're going to puke. Nobody likes that feeling. Okay, so, a lot of you saw we went to the pumpkin patch. Oh my gosh. So this is the same pumpkin patch that we went to last year. And pumpkin patches, and I understand the farmers and the people that do these, I mean, they put a lot of work into it. And so I understand that they're having to charge to, do certain things to make a profit from it. And I even understand maybe charging more this year because of inflation and, all that jazz. I don't want to really get into that. But last year we went to this pumpkin patch after leaving another one that we couldn't afford. And I'm pretty positive that they only charged for the corn maze, because I distinctly remember my 2 oldest that live with us saying they were just going to sneak in there, and me getting upset with them, telling them that, that's not okay. But I remember them not charging for anything else. Like it was free to get in. Like we just walked in, and they had like a little booth that you paid for the corn maze. But then once you got in, you could they had like the trampoline things you guys saw that they could bounce on. And they had some little slides and swings and like a little petting zoo area, and just really cute. And of course you have to pay for a pumpkin if you purchase one. But just a really nice place for pictures. All the kids had fun there last year, even the older ones. So I decided that we would go back to that place because I wanted to get some pictures of my oldest, who's graduating in January from high school. I wanted some senior pictures, so I thought I would just take them myself, because photographers cost a lot of money that we don't have right now. And so I thought that would be the perfect place. She loves fall. She loves Halloween. She just loves all that stuff. We get there and, we're taking pictures, and kids are jumping on the trampoline and, doing all that stuff. And I noticed everybody's wearing wristbands. And I'm like, what are these wristbands for? So I went and looked on the website, and they were charging $12 a person to get in, and 8 and under was $8. 8 and under was $8 a person, which I don't know, because nobody checked anything. I mean, my kids got on those little cart things, and it's like, what are they charging for? I can see for the corn maze, but to jump on that thing, I mean, especially if we weren't picking pumpkins, they had the animals that you saw, that's all that was there the day we were there. So I really wasn't sure. Anyway, we left. We were there probably 40 minutes tops. I didn't feel comfortable staying there. I mean, we just walked right in. So I don't know. Very strange, but at least I got some nice pictures. I'm going to have to take Allie on another day, probably to another location, because I don't want to pay $12 to take pictures. Because it was really windy that day too. So she was not happy about the wind blowing her hair everywhere. So there's that. That was, but I'm glad that we did do that day, because that was Saturday. It was the day my mom got remarried, and that was tough on me to not be there. Whew, that was really hard. So it was nice to have the distraction. And so when we came home Saturday, I was kind of depressed and down because, my dad's really, really sick, and they've basically given him 6 months to a year, but he's still gonna fight it. And then my mom was getting married, and we missed my in-laws' 50th anniversary in Vegas, and I just felt kind of like depressed. And then like just the whole money situation, and bathroom and stuff still not fixed, because that's a long story. Like the check got put on hold, and just life, cars not working right, our washing machine, which we haven't even had for a year because it broke last Thanksgiving is when our other one broke, crapped out. Like, I remember telling Adam, let's not get a computer. I mean, I know they're all computerized, but like the ones like that are really computerized, I'm like, I'm not comfortable with these kind. They always seem to have issues. We've had one before that had issues, and he's like, no, it's fine. The thing is like possessed. So it'll just, the faucet part of it, when it'll be done washing the clothes, the faucet part will still keep running into the washing machine. I will unplug it from the wall, and it will still run. It will still just be shooting water out. So then I had to turn the water off. And so after so many times of having to do this, and then to drain it and stuff, turning it back on, the valves are really old. And so then it started to leak. So like, yeah, another plumbing thing that we don't have the money to fix. So like, even if they're supposed to come out Wednesday to look at the washing machine, because it's so stupid, they say they won't replace it until they've been out at least 3 times to look at it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you gonna pay for my laundromat bill or my water bill because the thing just wants to run water continuously? Or when the valve explodes. Oh, it's just, like I said, it's been a really long week and a half. But I got sidetracked. So back to Saturday, I came home, was feeling depressed, and my aunt's friend had told me that the wedding started at 4, but she probably wouldn't send me the link to watch until like 4:30, which would be 5:30 my time. So I was thinking when she said link that it was going to be like Zoom or something like that. And so like the time was like 5 minutes till 5:30, and nobody had sent me anything. And I texted my aunt, I texted her friend, and they weren't responding, which they were like the wedding coordinators, so they were probably super busy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna not be able to see my mom get married. I was freaking out. But then my oldest nephew's wife texted me. She said, would you like me to FaceTime you so you could watch your mom get married? And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Yes. So she did that. She FaceTimed the whole thing. My mom walked down the aisle. She even got to wave at me. And so that was really nice. And then after that part was over, I saw I had a notification on Facebook, and they had live streamed it on Facebook, but for some reason it didn't alert me that I'd been tagged on the live stream. So I was able to watch it again from like a different view. And then I was like screenshotting stuff and posting it on my Instagram stories. And then my nephew's wife also called me, FaceTimed me when they did my surprise. We made that video. If you guys, it was the last video I think I posted on here. We made a video for my mom and her new husband, Ralph, just for best wishes and happy wedding day, and how much, we loved and missed them. and I had found out who her DJ was and got in contact with him and had it set up where he was going to surprise them and play that video. So nobody knew about it. The only people that knew about it were my niece Savannah, because I wasn't sure how the seating was, and he said he was going to wait to play it when everybody was seated to eat. And because she was in the wedding party, I figured she would be closest to my mom to take pictures. So she knew about it, and then my nephew's wife knew about it literally like 10 minutes before, when I said, yeah, FaceTime me again so you can record their reactions to it. So it was really neat. So I had my nephew's wife's view of it, which obviously, because it was FaceTime, I couldn't save it. And then my niece's husband was sitting right there, and so he videotaped their reaction. And so I have that on my Facebook Messenger saved as well. But everybody was really surprised, and you could see my mom crying, and it was just our way of being part of their special day. I also made a slideshow of pictures of her and her husband, with me singing in the background. They couldn't use that one to play like what the DJ did with the YouTube video, because I don't have the right equipment. So if he would have put that on there, my voice would have sounded really excuse me, it just, because I don't have like soundproofing stuff, all you would have heard was like the background noise. So watching it on your phone, or like even maybe your TV might be okay, but on a huge screen like that, it probably would have sounded really bad. Plus, like, the pictures I had screenshotted from my mom's Facebook page, and so they would have been really grainy, blown up that big. I did the same thing for my mother-in-law and father-in-law. They got renewed their vows in Vegas at the Graceland Wedding Chapel, and so I sang an Elvis Presley song for them and put that on her Facebook, and that was, again, my way of telling them how much I love them, and, you know, sorry that we couldn't be there, just trying to be part of both of their special days. But anyway, my mom was like very happy to get that, and so was my mother-in-law. So there's that. But my sister and brother-in-law are coming out. I think it's sometime this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. They should be here. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see them. At first they weren't going to come because my dad has been so sick, but they decided to go ahead and come out just for a couple days. They're only staying until I believe next Thursday, and I feel bad because I have so many appointments next week that I can't cancel. I've already canceled a couple, and then find out the washing machine repair guy can't come until Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the time frame? And they're like, oh, from 8 to 5. I'm like, really? Like, then I can't leave my house. I can't do anything. Like, I'm just gonna be stuck here. And if my sister wanted to go get lunch with my brother-in-law, or go walk the falls or something, nope, can't leave. So hopefully he shows up, and hopefully he can get it fixed, and he shows up early in the morning before they're even awake. I don't know. But I've been feeling stressed, and a lot of anxiety. It just seems like there's a lot going on. There's so many appointments again with the kids, and all of it's not even counseling. It's just getting their testing done, and IEPs, and I have to take my son Parker to the dermatologist, and my daughter Tiffany to the allergist, and get her set up with therapy. And Parker is going to be starting online school for driving, and I'm just like, oh, it feels like a lot. Like, I get really, really overwhelmed. Sometimes I just want to say no to everything, but I can't. I can't. I have to do these things for my kids. And then Kennedy School had posted a job for a Title I aide to help with sounding out letters and reading, basically like hooked on phonics, which is what I did at KinderCare for 12 years. I mean, I worked in the infant and toddler room and did the after school program, but I also taught the hooked on phonics there, and I guess hooked on phonics is making a comeback. But I was like, that would be like the perfect position. It's full time, with benefits, because I mean, we really could, use that extra money, but and obviously we'd lose Kennedy's benefits if I were to, to get that job, but it would be worth it more so than if I had taken the job through the church, which was only like 12 hours a week. It wouldn't really be worth it to lose Kennedy's benefits for just a tiny bit of extra income. But I'm not even gonna apply for it, because how would I work when there's so many appointments? And my husband's like, well, just make all the appointments in the afternoon. I'm like, yeah, times 6 kids. That's really hard to do. Really hard to do. And like right now, like when I had to turn off the camera for a minute, is because my daughter Tiffany was texting me and blowing up my phone because she doesn't feel good and she wants to come home. And I'm not even kidding you, at least once a week, 1 to 2 of my kids are, something's wrong at school, they forgot their medicine, they don't feel good. And a lot of times I tell them that's too bad, like tough it out, I'm not bringing you stuff or whatever. But sometimes I do have to go, pick them up, especially when it's the office calling me for like the littler ones. Like that just makes it really hard to work and really hard. It's really hard. Now, if I had 1 kid, 2 kids, and had to do afternoon appointments, maybe. 6 kids plus myself, all afternoon appointments, there's no way. Plus, I mean, I would be working at Kennedy School, so I mean, I would obviously just take her home with me, but I don't know the hours, like if you have to stay a little bit after school, or, how that even works. But, and I don't mean to complain. I know that people do it. And there's probably moms that work that have, 12 kids. I just don't know if I could do it. But I was like, that would be right up my alley. Perfect job. I love Kennedy School. Everybody's very friendly there. They all know me. I probably would have no problem getting hired, because I'm more than qualified to have like my credentials for it and everything. But I just don't think it's the season. So I think if it was, then I wouldn't have any hang-ups about it, if you know what I mean. If it was in God's timing, I don't think I would feel so anxious about even thinking about going back to work. I wish I could say that I generate a lofty income from YouTube, but I go months and months and months without a cent. And I don't know what it is. I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to change my channel, I'm going to focus on one thing, but I don't want to. It's really not important to me anymore, like the subscriber count. I mean, yes, it would be nice to generate an income, but I like the memories. I like going back, and I like my favorite videos are like the ones of the pumpkin patch where I put it to music, which I think is really funny. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years, like setting some of my videos to music, and now all of a sudden reels are like this huge thing on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok and on even like the YouTube shorts. And I'm like, I've been doing that forever, like editing my videos like that, and now it's like super popular, yet I don't ever get any views on mine. So I don't know, but I don't want to make my channel just about one thing. I like it for the memories. My kids like to go back and watch those videos, and then like videos like this is what do you call it? It's therapeutic for me to get things off my chest, kind of like keeping a journal, so to say, where I can look back and say, those were some really hard times and I got through it. What were the things I was doing to get through it? What can I do more of next time? So it really helps me, and hopefully it helps other people out there in YouTube land that might be struggling, that have kids that have disabilities, more than one kid that has some disabilities. And our life isn't all peaches and creams. I don't think I ever make it seem that way. I have teenagers that do things that they're not supposed to do, where I'm like, would have never done that stuff when I was their age. Like, ever. Like, I tell my mom, and I was trying to tell my dad the other day, because he saw the pumpkin patch pictures, and he was very upset about Tiffany's ripped jeans. He was like, how can you let her wear that? And I'm like, I am picking my battles, and honestly, it's fine. She she bought them. I didn't buy them. He's like, why would you allow her to spend her money on that? And I'm like, seriously, Dad, I don't want to talk about this right now. Like, I just want to talk to you because I don't know how much time I have left to talk to him. So I told him, I said, parenting kids today is not like when he parented me and my sister. It's just not. It's so different. And there's so many more challenges that we face than what they had to go through. Not that times weren't hard or teenagers weren't hard back then. Like, I know. And sometimes my teenagers are super fun. They really are. And, you know, I love them. I'm trying to enjoy every stage. But it's not just teens that wear the ripped pants. It's like Jillian like has some too, and she's 11. It's just the style. Like, you go to the store and that's what there is. Now, personally, I did tell Tiffany I wouldn't pay money for that. This is when she was back to school shopping, and so I told her I'm not paying that, and I also wouldn't let her use the money that so my ex-husband's grandmother sends Parker, Allie, and Tiffany spending money every month. She's just very generous like that, just so they have, you know, cash to buy themselves stuff or to go to the movies or, you know, whatever. I'm not sure if she's going to be doing it for Wesley or not. We were talking about it, but anyway, I wouldn't let Tiffany use that money either because I just didn't think it was right, because like half the pants are missing, and so she had to use her money that she made at the Tiki Hut to buy the pants like that. So that was my parenting. That was my say, because I was like, if it was me and I was a teenager and I wanted pants like that, I would go to the Goodwill or any thrift store, purchase a pair of pants for $5, and then rip them myself. But, you know, that's just me. So I was just trying to explain that to my dad, and I mean, he wasn't like mad or anything or like lecturing me. He was just like, you know, trying to understand like why. And my brain was like, I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk to you. Like, I want to talk to my dad. I don't want to talk about Tiffany's holy pants. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I have teenagers that have vaped and snuck out, and, you know, just being honest, they're doing a whole lot better now. There's still things that I cannot talk about on here because, once again, they're not my stories to tell, but, you know, we're trying to work through issues like PTSD, which is very real, and anxiety and ADHD and Tourette's, beginning stages like tics, oppositional defiance disorder, borderline personality disorder, learning disabilities, autism. So yeah, like, life can be overwhelming. So if there's anybody else out there that I feel like this could help, that, hey, you know, you're not the only one that's struggling, or you're not the only one that feels overwhelmed or has moments where, you know what, I want to throw in the towel and I just want to run away. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to be mom anymore. Sometimes I'll have horrible thoughts like that. Like, I can't. But, you know, those are just thoughts. They're in and out, and I just have to pray to my Savior, like, just help me, Lord, take this from me, because I cannot do this by myself. I have to lean on him, and I have to trust in his timing, which is really hard to do, and I don't always understand his timing, but, you know, I have to, or I would not make it through. So if it helps anybody, I'm glad. That's kind of like when my channel is all over the place. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's me sharing frugal meal ideas. Sometimes it's me doing some cleaning, which I haven't made one of those videos in a long time. I do need to go take most of my hanging plants down and move them to the back garden area, because it's supposed to snow, like frozen mix, on Saturday. So I think today is probably the last day of like semi-warm weather. The high is 72. So first time since we've been here that it's stayed warm like this long. Super cold in the morning, and then warms up in the afternoon, and then super cold at night. But now it's calling for possible chance of snow this weekend, well into next week. So I think our fall might be over. And as far as Halloween goes, we don't have any money to purchase any costumes this year. Back in September, I bought Kennedy like a cat outfit. It's not a costume. It's just like, it was from like Costco or Sam's Club. It's just like leggings, so it's got a picture of a cat on it, like a little sweater dress type thing. So she's actually just gonna wear that, and we have cat ears in our Halloween bin. And I just told the kids, I'm sorry, can't purchase anything for the kids that have money. I know Allie bought her costume, so I really don't know what they're doing. They might just have to paint their faces or just go through the Halloween bin and be something we already have. I know Halloween we'll actually probably just go trick-or-treating around our neighborhood. And then Sunday, so the 30th, our church is having a trunk or treat, so we're doing that. So it's another thing I need to figure out how to decorate the back of our car, because I don't have any like Halloween decorations. So I'm really not sure. I thought about just pulling out the Christmas bin and just putting Christmas decorations in there, but because I was gonna have my husband or Parker dress up as the Grinch, but that costume got ripped. Like, it's garbage. I think I threw it away. And all I have is my Snow White costume. So if you have any ideas, I've got a Snow White costume. I've got some 50s girls costumes. Adam has no costumes. Parker has no costume. If you have any ideas, let me know how I can decorate the back of my car. I'm horrible at things like that. My husband's like, our car is scary enough without decorating it because the kids leave all their garbage in it. But the church is providing the candy and stuff, so that will be the day before Halloween. And then Friday, Kennedy has her class party that, of course, I'm going to try and go help with that. But that is it. Chicken tendies. Sorry, this was long-winded. Looks like I'm at probably 28 minutes or so. Not sure how much of this I will even edit. But leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. You guys are so sweet and awesome, and thank you all so much for your love and support. Chicken tendies.